Hello, beautiful people. Hope everybody's doing well. I just finished watching my last video and I felt like I might have been a little too harsh on stupid people, so I'm going to give you guys a double shot this week. I took some notes, so I'll try to get through all of these. So let's get down to business. The first thing I wanted to talk about was, just because I say negative things or derogatory things about stupid people, like I said, I consider myself stupid, but just because I say that about people, I want to tell you what that doesn't mean. So just because I feel this way, or just because this is my opinion, that doesn't mean that people don't have value. People are still very valuable. These people that I'm talking about are probably super or hyper intelligent in other ways. They probably have skill sets that obviously I don't know about. They're probably incredibly intelligent about things I don't know. They probably know a bunch of things that I don't know. So I'm not saying these people have no value in the human race, or I'm above them and they're beneath me. I'm just saying that the opinions that people have, the opinions that I have, that anybody has, the opinion in a way or in a sense needs to add value to the conversation. And a lot of times when people, including me, offer our opinions, we offer opinions about things that we shouldn't be offering our opinions about. So for example, I'm probably not going to make a lot of content or a lot of conversation about kids, about raising kids or how to raise kids. As much as I feel like I have an opinion on how people should raise their kids, or how they should handle a certain situation, or how they should discipline their children, I don't offer my opinion because it's none of my business. I'm not adding value to the conversation. I'm not helping another person by criticizing them on how they raise their kids. So I would consider myself stupid or ignorant when it comes to raising kids and having children, so I don't comment on it. And that goes for a lot of things, like I wrote down some notes, like stuff I don't know nothing about, like flowers and plants, gardens. Like I don't know anything about flowers and plants and gardens, and how much light plants are supposed to have, and if they're indoor, outdoor. So I'm not gonna offer my advice to somebody that does gardening. So that's what I mean by adding value to the conversation. I'm not gonna tell somebody how to raise their kids. I'm not gonna tell somebody how to raise their flowers, how to plant a garden. I haven't been fishing and hunting since I was a kid, like 30 years ago probably. So you're not going to walk up to a conversation that I'm having with somebody and me be giving somebody advice about how to fish or how to hunt or how to be a better hunter or how to be a better fisherman. Like, I'm just not going to do it because I'm not adding value. Even though I have an opinion, even though what I say may be true and it may be real or may be right to me, I'm not helping this other person. All I'm doing is criticizing the way they do it, and they're living it. So my opinion really doesn't matter because I'm not living it. It's just an outsider's opinion. And I put working out on here too. I'm built like a coat hanger. Okay, I'm not scrolling through my feed seeing these advertisements or somebody that has a social media presence that's mostly about health and fitness. I'm not going on there telling people how to bench press or how to diet or what to eat, what not to eat. I'm not on there, and these are the people that I'm talking about. People that just go around vomiting their opinion on people when they have no expertise in this particular area. That doesn't mean that they're not smart in another area, or they don't have other skills, or they're not artistic in some way. Like, people have plenty of skill sets, but what the problem is that because we are skilled or knowledgeable in a particular area, we fool ourselves into believing that now we have infinite wisdom on all subjects, and everything we think is important or of value to other people. So that's kind of what I feel like I left out of the last video, is just because someone has an opinion doesn't make it valuable. And we should focus our energy when we're going to offer somebody advice. It needs to be something that we're an expert in, and it needs to come from a place of from having a good heart, and you're trying to help this person, not just criticize them the way they're doing it, that you would do it better. So for example, people that criticize the way I run or operate my business that have never owned or operated a business, like, how do you feel like you have the answer to whatever's going on over here when you've never, like they say, walked a mile in my shoes. So if you're going to offer your opinion, try to offer your opinion from a good place to help another person in an area where you have some sort of expertise or some sort of experience to where you have value to add. I saw a video a while back of a lady that implemented in her household, in her home, they implemented the 5-second rule. And the 5-second rule is that if you see something, and this is in their home, in their household, or maybe like for their kids at school, if you see something on somebody or something somebody's doing and they can fix it in 5 seconds, then you bring it to their attention. But if they cannot fix it in 5 seconds, then you leave it alone. So for example, if somebody has like, I don't know, they got a little booger right there, then you bring it to their attention because they can fix that real quick. Or if they got something in their teeth, or if their collar is not folded down, or if their zipper's open, like that is something, your opinion matters. Like you can help somebody fix something quickly in 5 seconds by saying, hey, let me help you. That's helping somebody. That's an opinion that matters. If you're gonna go around like, let's say, trying to figure out where my notes are here. I scribbled from top to bottom, back and forth. But if what I have to say, this person can't fix in 5 seconds, like I shouldn't make a comment about their haircut. I should make a comment about, like for instance, in the video before, we were talking about the gun curio. Like, I can't fix this gun curio the way you want it in 5 seconds. Don't say it. So keep it to yourself. Be quiet. If you can't, talk about somebody's weight, talk about somebody's appearance, talk about somebody's car, talk about the way anything. Like, if they can't fix it in 5 seconds, keep it to yourself. And I thought that was a very, 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 very intelligent and valuable way to look at offering advice and offering an opinion. If they can fix it in 5 seconds, say something. And if they can't, keep your mouth closed. And that goes into my next little note here. And I can't remember where I saw this. I think it might have been like even a commercial for a car or something. But the line in the commercial said something to the effect of, like, the ultimate show of strength is control, or the ultimate show of force is restraint. So just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you need to give it to somebody. Sometimes keeping your mouth shut, sometimes shutting up is the best thing you can do for another person. So an example is, even though, like I was mentioning in the video before, when people are giving us advice, that's their perspective. They're giving us advice. They're giving us feedback and all this stuff. If we can't fix it right away, show some strength and restrain yourself from saying it. So for example, in society, it is polite to keep your opinion to yourself. On the internet, it's not the same. So for example, I don't go to the grocery store or the convenience store or just about my daily life and start calling people fat or ugly or stupid or anything like that. That's impolite. That's rude. That's my opinion. My opinion is, hey, this person's hideous. Oh my gosh, this poor person's ugly, okay? And people, I'm sure plenty of people say that about me. Man, this guy's disgusting. This guy's ugly, So, but it's impolite in society to go around just giving your opinion to people. And it could be right. This person could be ugly. This person could be fat. This person could be stupid. That could be correct. That could be right. But it's impolite in society to go around and say it. And it's no different to me on the internet or on social media to go around constantly giving your opinion to somebody. Even if your opinion is factually correct. Your opinion can be factually right, but it's still your opinion. There's 8 billion people or 9 billion people, whatever it is on the planet. Not everybody's going to see things the exact same way you are. And just because it's right to you doesn't mean it's right to everybody. So just because someone's hideous, we don't go around in society and call this person hideous. Same thing with the internet. Like, people just go around online and just say things, even though they're factually correct, because they can be impolite, and because they, like I used the example before, people are say, well, I'm a customer, so my opinion matters to you because you're a company. So we feel like that because we're a customer, every time we have an opinion about how somebody should run their business or run their store or some particular product, if they can't fix it in 5 seconds, you're probably not helping. You're probably not, especially if you have no experience in the field. Like, this person's probably done a lot more to get to where they are, and you walk in their store and you say, oh, well, this is stupid, or this is dumb. Well, you don't even know all the situation that led up to things being the way they are. So this process, this product probably exists this way for a reason. You don't know all those reasons, and you just come in and spout off your opinion because you think you're right, because you're a customer, so you just have a right to be impolite. And that's really what it is. You're being impolite. And that's why the people closest to you, the people that you're closest to, those are the people that you take criticism from. Those are the people that you get advice from. So if you're having an issue or having a problem, I'm not going to go to the internet and ask for advice. I'm just not. Those people don't know me. They don't know the situation. They don't know the circumstances. So if I have a situation, or if I have a problem and I need it solved, I'm going to go to the people closest to me and I'm going to say, hey, I have this situation. I have this scenario. What do you think I should do? Here's everything you need to know about what's going on. What would you do? If you were me, what would you do? I'm not going to go to the internet and ask for that. I'm not going to go ask for strangers' opinions about what it is I need to do to solve this problem. I'm going to go to the people closest to me. And the same situation goes in reverse. If I'm doing something, if I'm acting out of character, if I'm not being my best, the people that are closest to me, they have the ability to come to me and say, hey, you can do better. Hey, this isn't good enough. Hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, you need to do this. Like, those people, I trust their opinion. They know all the details. So that's a two-way street. Like, I'm not going to go to the internet and look for advice, and I don't expect the internet to just throw advice my way. And I know it doesn't work that way, so I'm not pretending like it's going to stop. I'm just laying the groundwork as to why I was calling so many people stupid in my last video. People will just come out off the internet and just throw shade or whatever, however you want to say it. They will just take a hot steaming dump on you because you're doing something with your life and they're miserable, and you can't let that get you down. You can't let that stop your momentum, and you can't get pulled in every single possible direction for everybody's personal preferences. This person has an opinion. They may or may not be factually correct, but just because they can't mind their manners and be polite and keep their opinion to themselves, don't let it ruin your day. Just gonna let you know, don't let it ruin your day. What else do I got? Bam, 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 bam. This is actually kind of funny. So I know a guy, he's a driver for one of our vendors, and every time I see him, we get to talk about old cars. He's got an old car. But anyway, he says, sometimes you meet people and they have some kind of funny saying, and then you end up stealing it from them and you say it too. So I stole this saying from him, and I don't know where he got it, or maybe he made it up. I don't know. But I always ask him how he's doing, or hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Da, da, da. And his response, and now I use it, is, hey man, how you doing? And he's like, I don't know anything and I can prove it. and I don't know why I thought that was funny, but it's probably because of my past, because of my history. Like I said in the last video, I'm an idiot. I'm a dumb person. I'm a moron, and I can prove it. Like, I don't know anything and I can prove it, and I prove it by talking. And that's why I think his little catchphrase, little saying, is so clever, because if you understand what it means, it's like the only thing that you can do when you talk to people is prove how dumb you are, prove how little you know, and you can prove it by talking. So when he says, I don't know anything, I can prove it, all he's got to do is start talking. And the more he talks, the more he proves what he doesn't know. And that is just really, really clever. It's really, really smart. So I copycatted it. I stole it. I think it's hilarious. I use it. But again, that goes back to, that's the reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We're supposed to listen at least twice as much as we talk. And you can't learn anything while you're talking. So the more you talk, the more you prove to people around you what you don't know. Because a lot of times, and actually I owe you guys a story, but a lot of times when you're in a group, particularly in a group of people, and there's always seems to be like that one person that just talks and talks and talks and talks, and it really kind of shuts everybody else down, because that one person talks like they know everything, and nobody wants to embarrass this person in front of these other people, even though they know more, because those people are minding their manners. They are being polite because they know that whatever they try to do to help this person or correct this person is going to humiliate them in front of other people. So the intelligent people will be quiet while the ding dong runs their mouth the whole time, because they feel like because they're talking and they have control of the room and they have attention from everybody else, that everybody else is like soaking in all their wisdom, when really they're just being polite, keeping their mouth shut because they don't want to humiliate or embarrass this person. And I have been that person. I 100%, 1000%, I've been that person in a room running my mouth in front of a bunch of people that are smarter than me, and I look like a fool. I look like an idiot because I was. And these people were polite enough and patient enough to just let me look like an idiot. I didn't know anything, and I proved it to a room full of people. And again, they minded their manners, and they were polite enough to let me look dumb. And it probably took me weeks, months, years later to figure out, oh man, dang, that was probably not a wise thing to do. Because now the older I get, I'm gonna mark off my list here so I stay on track. Because now the older I get, I like to be the dumbest person in the room. I like listening, because I feel like if I'm at my best when I'm listening, I'm at my best when I'm learning, I'm at my best when I'm growing, I'm at my best, but I'm about to show my Texas right here. I'm at my best when I'm figuring. Like, I'm at my best when I'm soaking it in, rolling it around in here, listening, learning, dissecting, analyzing. I'm at my best when I'm inside my head. So when I'm talking, there's really not a lot happening. Like, I'm, formulating sentences and I'm putting thoughts together, but I'm not gaining anything. I'm just unloading what I already know. Like, I can't help myself get more intelligent by talking. It's an impossibility. Like, I have to shut my mouth and open my ears, open my eyes. And that's why I like being the dumbest person in the room, because I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I'm learning. I feel like I'm taking in other people's wisdom. I get frustrated if I feel like, I may not even be, but if I feel like I'm the most intelligent person in the room, it's like my anxiety starts to pick up. Like, I start to get stressed out. I start to get frustrated. And it's got nothing to do with the quality of people in the room. Like, good people, honest people, hardworking people. So it's not a knock on them. It's a feeling that I get that I need to be growing. And like I said, that's why the anxiety comes up, is that it's not that I can't relax and chill and hang out with this group of people. I can, of course, that's not a problem. It's that I don't feel like I'm at my best in that situation. Even if I'm sharing and helping and helping other people grow and learn, or giving a talk or whatever, like, I feel like I'm helping, but I want to feel like I'm growing. I want to feel like I'm learning. And that's why I feel like I'm at my best when I'm the dumbest person in the room, because I want to be learning. I want to be listening. And when I'm the dumbest person in the room, and it's very clear to me that my opinion doesn't matter, that I'm not the smartest person in the room, that's when I'm the most humble. That's when I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I have so much to learn. There is so much out there that I don't know. There's so much experience out there that I haven't had. So I thrive when I'm the dumbest person in the room. So that's why I don't have a problem saying, hey, I'm dumb or I'm stupid, because I realize that somebody said, they used this example that, draw a circle on a piece of paper, or draw a circle on a dry erase board or something like that. And that circle represents everything there is to know. Everything there is to know. Science, math, health, fitness, gardening, everything. That circle is everything there is to know in the world. And then shade in the portion of that circle of what you know. What is it that you know out of everything that there is to know? And if you're being honest with yourself, you're going to shade in a very small portion of that circle. I mean, just think of how many languages there are in the world. Just think of how many cultures there are in the world. There's so much information out there. So much information out there. So if you're being honest with yourself, you're going to shade in a very, very small portion of that circle. And that should humble you in a way that, like, I don't know what I think I know. Even if I know a whole bunch about, let's say you've dedicated your life to music, you may know everything. You may know everything there is to know about music, but you're a complete moron in a bunch of different areas. And I like that. I like that my circle isn't even close to full. I like that my circle has hardly any shading in it, because it lets me know that there's so much more out there that I haven't got to. And one of the, for me, when I think about it, one of the biggest I don't know how to say it, but one of the biggest, I guess, disappointments in life is that life isn't long enough to learn it all. Like, I want to learn it all. I want to know everything there is to know. And I understand that the more I'm talking in a group of people, or the more I'm running my mouth, or the more I'm online dropping my opinion in the comments, I'm not learning anything. I'm not gaining anything. I'm not adding anything of value. Like, it drives me crazy. So when I see people online that are criticizing or critiquing, or even if they're just trolling just trying to have the funniest comment or have the funniest pun, like, hey, that's great, that's your bag and that's your thing, and it's cute and it's funny and all that, but I get nothing out of it. When I see it, I'm like, I have friends that send me stuff and like, oh, I read the comments. I'm like, what? Like, what? Who? Oh my gosh, who has time? Who has time? What are you gaining from that? What are you gaining from? I mean, first of all, I don't even know the measurement. Trillions of posts and content and videos and reels and stories, and there's so many. Like, you couldn't watch it all in a million lifetimes. You couldn't watch all of it. And then there's the people that see it and have enough free time. It's because me, if I'm watching it, I'll just go to the next thing. Like, I'm just, I want to be brain dead for an hour, so I get on my phone. But there's people that actually go to the comments and comment on everything, and then they read all the comments. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how could you possibly have this much free time? It drives me nuts. So, getting sidetracked, here I go. Okay, so back on track. Oh yeah, so I like being the dumbest person in the room. That's where I feel like I'm okay knowing that my strength is being the dumbest person in the room, because that's where I feel like I gain the most. That's where I feel like I go into what's that thing they call it, like war games or something, where they get all the military together and they play war games. They start to play out all these scenarios of what could happen in certain situations if this happens in this and then this happens in this. Like, I feel like when I go into this boardroom and play these war games with the brightest people there are in whatever field or whatever subject we're talking about, like, when I go into these, that's another reason why I have a coach and I go to these groups. Like, I want to be the dumbest person in the room. Like, I want to go in here, take a piece of paper and a pen, and I want to just the whole time just try to soak up as much as I possibly can, so I can leave this room and bring value to my life, bring value to other people's lives. And that's not by going online and telling other people what they should be doing with their lives. It's the direct connection I have with the people around me, with my team here at the shop, with the team at the furniture store, with the people around me, all the people that I'm connected to, the network of people I'm connected to. I want to take all of this wisdom, because if I go into a room with 10 business owners and they've all been doing it, let's say an average of 10 years, you're talking about 100 years of business ownership in a single room, and they're all sharing stories, talking about pitfalls and challenges and difficulties in life and family and love and relationships and business and money and taxes. Like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna shut my mouth. Like I said, how does it go? The ultimate form, the ultimate show of force is control. The ultimate show of strength is restraint. Like, that's me showing my strength in that room is not going there trying to tell everybody how to do it. The strength is keeping my mouth shut, shutting up, keeping my mouth shut, and listening and learning and paying attention, and trying to leave that room with 100 years worth of wisdom and knowledge and priceless information that's going to come my way. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to leave that room and go start commenting on, like, it's two different mindsets. It's two completely different paths. I'm not going to leave that room and start dropping bombs on people's, social media posts or their ads saying how they could do it better. Oh, I was just in this meeting. Y'all can do this better. Like, that's not for me. That's not my job. That's not my responsibility. My job is to take that information back to my people, to my tribe, to my group, and share that information and implement these things and try these tactics and avoid these pitfalls. It's direct connection. Like, with this social media, with the phones, like, we feel like that because we can reach out and touch somebody, reach out and comment, reach out and say something to a complete stranger a million miles away, that we should. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't. I mean, again, I know I'm not changing the world here. I know I'm not making a difference. I know nobody's going to quit doing it. I know it's not going anywhere. And like I said, I make these videos for me so I can see them, I can listen, I can watch. And I'm telling me now, whenever I see this, make the best use of your time and your knowledge and your wisdom. Go seek out the smartest people you can possibly be around. Spend as much time with them as you possibly can, and shut up. Shut up. Don't say a thing. Listen, learn, grow, soak it up, take notes, like make the absolute best of that situation. Because again, the person that's in that mindset to go to those meetings and go to that coaching and go to those programs, that person is not the person that's going to leave and start telling other people, hey, you're ugly, hey, you're fat, hey, you're stupid. Those two people can't coexist in the same body. They can't coexist in the same mind. So I'm trying to be this guy, not the I know everything and I can prove it by telling you everything I know. Like, I'm trying to be the guy that don't know nothing with his mouth shut, and I can show you I know nothing. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, okay? Because most people will show you they know nothing by talking. How's my time doing? Oh, it's getting down to the wire. Okay. Oh, and one other one, and I will be done. I saw this somewhere online too, but and I forgot exactly how it was worded. But the way I wrote it was, before you argue with somebody, make sure that person has the capacity to understand what you're saying. And I say argue, that's probably not the right word. It could be just a conversation. I'm sure plenty of you have seen the little clips or reels where people are talking about they never argue with somebody, and if they feel like the person's going to start an argument, they always just say you're right. And that person starts an argument, and you're like, oh, you know what, you're right. And they end the argument right there, even though they're wrong. You just agree with them and say you're right to avoid the argument, because you'll win every argument that you don't get into. So this note is, before you argue with somebody, before you have a conversation with somebody, and this can go for business, personal, your relationship, your marriage, like, before you have this conversation, especially the more important it is, make sure this person has the capacity to understand what you're about to tell them. And that is part of maturing. That is part of growing up. That is part of being able to perceive people for who they really are. And if you're trying, like these people on the internet that are constantly dogging us online and social media and all this stuff, like, it's like I can spot them now. Like, I understand now that no matter what I say to this person, I'm not going to be able to reach them. I'm not going to be able to get through to them. So taking the time out of my day to try to explain it to them, to try to bring this person to the light, it's not my job. That's not my job. And I'm finally learning that it's not my job to try to save everybody. It's not my job to rescue everybody. It's not my job to bring everybody to the light. I vet this person. Where is their heart? Where is their mind? What are their intentions? Are they trying to grow? Are they trying to be better? Do they want to fix their mistakes? Do they want to repent from their sins? Like, who is this person? Before I dive off into helping or teaching or coaching or even listening or anything, before I spend time with somebody, like literally before I spend time with somebody, is this person on the level? Can this person understand? And there's test balloons. Once you get to a certain point, you start having test balloons. You start throwing out these test balloons to see if this person can pick up what it is. And you can be direct. I'm not saying it has to be like covert or hidden or secret. You can very plainly and very bluntly give people a test balloon to see how well they do. And if you realize that this person's failing the test and they're not getting it and they're not understanding, then, and it can be on something minor and something very simple, because if they don't get the simple thing, there's almost no chance they're going to get the complex thing. They're not going to get the difficult thing if they're not able to understand the simple thing. So hope I didn't lose y'all there at the end. I know I talk fast. I'm sorry. It's just that's how I am. I'll work on it. But yeah, make sure this person understands. Make sure this person can comprehend what you're trying to teach them. There's plenty of things in this world that I don't comprehend, I don't understand. And if somebody was going to try to explain it to me, they'd be wasting their time. So I'm not saying I'm above anybody. I'm just saying we're all different. We all know different things. We all understand different things differently. So there's plenty of things in this world that people know that I don't know, that even if they tried to explain it to me, I would be lost, confused, and or maybe I could even understand the concept, but I wouldn't want to play along. I wouldn't want to play the game. So there's things that people understand and know, but they're never going to play by the rules. They're never going to do the thing that you need them to cooperate to make happen. You could be two completely different people with two completely different ideas on how to get to the same place, and this person will not cooperate with you even though you're going to the same place. They'll fight you the whole way. They'll fight you the whole way because they don't understand your method, you don't understand their method, and it's going to be a battle and a war and a fight even though you're going the same destination. So make sure before you argue or conversate or anything like that with somebody, make sure they have the capacity to understand what's about to go down or what you're thinking. And I'm running out of time, but real quick story. I have this friend, she's awesome, she's amazing, she's just cool, okay? But she's really smart, she's really bright, very good heart, very good person, like genuine, honest, authentic, like she's just incredible. And she'll send me a text message, and I understand her enough to know that I can't send her just a quick message. I can't send her something that's not thoughtful or thought out. So sometimes I'll read her message and I will have to think about how to respond because she's delicate and I have to handle her carefully. So I have to word my messages in a certain way to help her understand that I thought about this. This wasn't just I just spit out an answer. Like, no, I thought about this, I formulated a response, and this is a detailed answer to what we're talking about here. Well, she has a little bit of anxiety, and what will happen is she will send me this message, and it requires a response. It requires a thoughtful response. And I didn't used to be able to formulate a thoughtful response, and I've got to the point where I can. I used to just give the quick response, thinking it meant the same thing, and it doesn't. So now I formulate a thoughtful response. Well, what happens is she will get impatient waiting for that response, and then she'll send another message, and it'll be slightly off topic or completely off topic. And then it's hard to respond back to the other message because now I'm trying to formulate a thoughtful response to the second one. So having this communication style where you're able to communicate with people on the same level at the same time and formulating thoughtful responses, especially when they're required, knowing your audience, knowing when somebody needs a thoughtful response and knowing when somebody doesn't, makes a huge difference. So I know that before I respond to her message that I got to make it clear because I don't want to leave any gray area. I'm not trying to hurt her feelings. I'm not trying to leave her wondering. I'm not trying to, oh, well, you said this, but did you mean this? Like, I got to be really crystal clear because I want her to understand. So I'm doing my best to, again, make sure this person can understand before you have this conversation. And that's me making an effort because I care about this person, and me making an effort to show her that I've thought about this, and this isn't just, hey, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just, I'm just trying to tell you what you want to hear. Like, no, I thought about this, and this is what I came up with. So my little video here ran along, but I want to follow up to the last video because, like I said, I felt like I was a little bit harsh, especially on stupid people. But hey, stupid people, I'm numero uno right here. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for listening, watching. Feedback, comments, messages, calls. You guys are incredible. I'll keep making these. If you guys want to see something, let me know. If I'm boring you to tears, let me know that too. But I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.